2월의 끝자락이 되면 특별한 손님들이 한국애들을 찾습니다. 그런데 대학생이 아니라 초등학생? 개회식장을 가득 채운 앳된 얼굴들. 하지만 실력만은 절대 어리지 않은 영어 토론계의 새싹들이랍니다. 반가워요. 어느새 내도를 맞은 초등학생 영어 토론 대회. 작년에 이어 올해도 무려 400여 명이 참가했다는데요. 우리 학생들은 어떤 마음으로 대회에 참가한 걸까요?
기대가 돼요. 기대는 돼요. 선생님이 기대하지 말라 그랬는데 기대는 돼요, 솔직히.
오늘 도전하고 싶어요.
어떤 것이 많이 기대가 돼요?
솔직히 본선 진출만 했으면 좋겠어요.
그게 어려운 거야.
그러니까 그게 어렵잖아.
긴장 엄청 돼요.
되죠.
아이, 우승을 바라는 건 아니고요.
그냥 본선 진출만
네.
바라는데 긴장은 되지.
기대 반, 긴장 반. 학생들이 고대하는 영어 토론 대회는 과연 어떻게 진행될까요? 우선 참가팀들은 즉흥 주제를 놓고 정부 측과 야당 측으로 나뉘어 찬반 토론을 펼칩니다. 첫째 날 예선 3경기를 거쳐 본선 진출팀이 가려지고 둘째 날에 치르는 본선 4경기를 통해 최종 우승팀을 확정합니다. 또한 학생들의 해외 체류 경험 등을 반영해 예선과 본선은 모두 제너럴 리그와 EFL 리그로 나뉘어 진행됩니다. 드디어 예선이 시작됐습니다. 팀의 논리에 충실하면서도 개인의 역할까지 고려해 즉흥 연설문을 준비하기란 쉽지가 않습니다. 야속한 시간은 기다려주지 않고 학생들은 하나라도 더 준비하기 위해 고사리 같은 손을 바쁘게 놀립니다. 문화예술부터 사법제도에 이르기까지 다양하고 깊이 있는 주제들이 등장했지만 참가 학생들은 차분하게 자신의 논리를 펼쳤습니다. 4분간의 기조 발언과 3분간의 답변 발언이 모두 끝나면 심판은 화술과 논리, 전략과 시간을 평가해 현장에서 즉시 피드백을 해줍니다.
You guys have like the arguments, which is your guys' opinion, and you guys need to think about why and why do you think in that kind of way with examples.
와, 열심히 경청하는 태도가 무척이나 어른스러운데요. 심판은 학생들의 경기를 어떻게 봤을까요?
일단 준비 시간이 많지 않았음에도 불구하고 그 짧은 준비 시간 안에 애들이 되게 잘 준비한 것 같아서 그게 되게 잘했다고 생각합니다.
이제 이틀간의 여정을 마치고 본선 마지막 무대에 오른 팀을 만나러 가볼까요? 정부 측을 맡아 찬성 논거를 펼칠 팀 벨라토리어스. 이에 맞서 반대 논거를 펼칠 야당 측의 팀 스텔라. 오늘 이들이 맞붙을 토론 주제를 공개합니다. 다음과 같은 기술이 있다고 가정할 때 사람들은 최적의 생산 연령대로 평생을 살아야 하는가? 찬성팀의 첫 주자를 소개합니다. 정부 수상역을 맡은 신승현 토론자는 4분간 의안을 발의하고 찬성 논거를 연설합니다.
긍정적인 친구예요. 팀 프랩이 잘 안 됐을 때도 해볼게 이러면서 열심히 하고 또 어쩔 때는 가끔 안 될 땐 좀 좌절하고 가끔 짜증도 내긴 하지만 그래도 그것 때문에 팀이 더 똘똘 뭉치고 그럴 수 있었던 것 같아요.
팀을 하나로 만든 주역 신승현 학생의 첫 연설 기대할게요.
So prime age can be a cult of golden age to individuals. This means that it's a very valuable time for all the individuals, and it's when they are both physically and mentally most confident about themselves. So we believe that in this debate, a team who prioritizes and makes the individuals more happy and has a more protect individuals' rights are going to win. And we're going to today prove how making them to choose whether they're going to live forever in their prime age are going to make them happy and make more satisfaction of their own lives. So in our policy, we're going to have this this prime age choice are going to be in the government control, where they're going to afford their prices, that as the more technology develops, it will going to be more affordable to both the poor and the rich. And also we believe that this policy can also be reversible to the individuals. And we believe that in this policy, we are not meaning that the individuals are going to live forever, but we're saying that they're going to live in 25 to 31 age for their limited age in their lives. We believe that they're going to also make informed choices by educations or other media informations that are be given by the government. And we believe that they are also going to be mentally mature as they age, but not physically getting old. No, thank you. And also moving on to my arguments, I'd first like to talk about the principal justification the government team has. First of all, we believe that there's a social contract where the government has a responsibility to protect their own happiness. First of all, government has the power and authority for the citizens, and we believe that in return, they need to protect the citizens' happiness and to maximize their satisfaction of their lives. In the status quo, we believe that there is a big problem where the people who are old or who are getting older are significantly feeling unhappy and are feeling deprived and depression as they feel useless in the society and a useless, unproductive member in our society. We believe that this is a big problem where individuals' happiness are being decreases and their quality of life is being very low. We believe that even though they are viable to give them happiness, to give them a choice rather to live for the prime age, if they don't give them and if they keep individuals to make a choice of their own selves, we believe that the government is becoming a really irresponsible and an immoral government who doesn't respect the individuals' happinesses and their choices. Also, second of all, we believe that there's a bodily autonomy for the individuals in the status quo. The individuals knows best about themselves and has a big capacity about themselves. So we believe that they know the best in the prime age where they're most attractive and where they're most have their confidence about themselves. We believe that this is why, since they have the best capacity, their choices should be made by themselves, not the government, whether they're going to give the prime age for forever or not. No, thank you. We believe that this is the government role in order to give them a choice and to maximize their own happiness. We believe that their happiness and their bodily autonomy can be achieved by choosing to live in the prime age, because first, they're going to be feel at the best version of themselves and more happy if they rather choose to live forever in a prime age. And second of all, we believe that their choices and their bodily autonomies are going to increase actually with government giving them a choice. And third of all, we believe that they're going to feel their choices and their emotions are being respected by the government. Secondly, we believe that there are going to be huge benefits to both the society and both the individuals. First of all, we believe that there are going to be more productivity. They're going to lead to social development. First of all, they said that since they don't get older in the physical parts, we believe that they're going to be healthy and they're going to be more productive as their own young age. And also, since they get mature and since they get mentally older, we believe that they're going to be more making good choices of life and they're going to have more knowledge of life. This is going to make them more productive member of the society, which can not just benefit them, the individuals themselves, but the whole society as they become the productive member of the society. Second of all, we believe that we can make the poor's life a better quality of life. Since they are poor, their unique characteristic is that they earn money and they earn daily lives by doing labor. This is the unique characteristic because labor has a limited time for the poor to work and to actually earn money. If their productivity doesn't decrease by having a prime age, then there are going to be more social mobility. There are going to be more possibility to poor to climb up the social ladder in order to become a productive member. We believe that this is a very big benefit in the status quo where there are more rich and poor gap. We believe that we are the side where it decreases the rich and poor gap and has the most social benefit to both the individuals and the society. For these reasons, I'm proud to propose.
정부 수상역의 신승현 학생은 현대사회의 노년층과 빈곤층 문제를 지적하며 정부가 책임감 있게 시민의 행복을 보장하려면 이 정책이 필요하다는 기조연설을 펼쳤습니다. 이에 맞설 반대팀 첫 주자는 누구일까요? 야당 대표역을 맡은 이유진 토론자는 4분간 정부 측 의안에 반대 논거를 연설합니다.
되게 친구들 이렇게 다른 사람들 앞에서는 되게 엄청 쫄아 있다가 직접 이렇게 발표하러 나가면은 진짜 엄청 잘하는 친구거든요. 그리고 되게 정도 많은 것 같고 되게 가끔씩 뜬금포로 되게 웃기는 경우가 많아요. 얘가 조금 되게 웃기는데 그렇다고 그리고 되게 친절한 것 같아요, 친구. 그래서 되게 정도 많고 웃기는 친구여서 우리 친구들이 다 좋아해요.
팀의 사랑을 독차지하는 실전형 토론자 이유진 학생입니다.
So, Mr. Speaker, in the current status quo, younger students learn as they're growing up. People learn a lot of things as they grow up, and if they have a limited amount of brain uses, like the prime age, we cannot learn from other aged people, which is unjustifiable in the first place. If we let this motion pass, we're cutting the relationship of a lot of people, such as parent to student, student to teacher, where all of these roles would disappear when we see it in the long term. We don't want a society like that. Now I'll move on to my. I'll move directly onto my rebuttals. So the first point that was made of the proposition team was about the justification and the social contract that they have. And then they mentioned about how we have to protect the citizens' lives because they're deprived and we have to keep the happiness. However, firstly, the proposition is actually assuming that the elderly or the children is always feeling sad and always deprived and always sad just because they're old or just because they're young. This is a great assumption, and we believe that if in the current status quo, people are actually being happy, and if we implement this motion, we're actually going to have a lot of sad people than the current status quo. Now I'll move on to my second rebuttal, which is about bodily autonomy. However, if we let this motion pass, we're doing the exact opposite of what they want. We have to have the childhood. When you ask a person, do you want to live in a prime age? Who will say no? Everybody will have to be in a prime age, which is not really choosing it, but we're forcing them to have. Now I'll move on directly to my first argument, which is about they will not work hard when you are in the prime age. It's as I mentioned in my hook, it's unjustifiable of getting rid of any human relationships and the process of learning. As the children age in the first place, they learn from their mom, dad, teachers. However, if their ability is the same, we cannot develop the society. Yes.
Then if these individuals that you're talking about do not want these kind of things, why don't we let them choose them, and why don't we let them have the freedom of choice, ma'am?
As I mentioned in my rebuttal, yes. People, when you ask a person, do you want to live in a prime age? Who will say no? Everybody will say yes because the word prime age is like the benefits for their side. However, this is not actually true, and we will mention as we go on. So now I'll move directly into my second argument, which is about the diverse society. So imagine everyone is around us is 25 to 31 years old. The society will be boring. Children and adults should learn what they did and can't think what's moral or immoral. This is actually a very immoral society. We need more people to associate and interact with people with different values so that we can learn new things for others. So 25 to 31, there is a limited amount of brain usage. Even though people call it the prime age, we learn more things when we're young and elderly as we age on.
야당 대표역의 이유진 학생은 정부의 정책이 결국에는 시민의 신체 자율성을 침해할 것이며 인간관계와 배움의 원천이 되는 사회적 다양성을 없앨 것이라고 반박했습니다. 기세를 다시 끌어올 찬성팀의 두 번째 주자를 소개합니다. 정부 부수상 역을 맡은 박세진 토론자는 4분간 야당 측의 논거를 반박하고 자신의 논거를 제시합니다.
두 번째 친구는 디베이트를 할 때 항상 리버트를 잘 짜내고 공격적으로 해가지고 선생님께대로 호평을 많이 받고 실제로 디베이트 컨테스트에서 이렇게 나가는 대로 많은 기여를 했던 친구예요. 그리고 매우 착한 친구예요.
공격연설의 달인 박세진 토론자, 톡 쏘는 일침을 기대해봅니다.
So, Mr. Speaker, this debate is about when government has a government role is to actually provide happiness to the individuals, whether. So, this debate is about whether this technology can maximize the happiness of individuals or not. So, I'll prove to you why through this technology, government can maximize their happiness and why this is their role. And furthermore, what kind of further benefits does it bring to the society? So, now moving into my rebuttal, so they firstly talked about that citizens' life is actually being happier. That we are just assuming the fact that actually that older people and children are unhappy. However, firstly, Mr. Speaker, they're also making the assumption because they clearly proved to us that because when there is a choice given, they are going to make that, they are going to choose that choice, Mr. Speaker. We tell you that is a contradiction that came by the leader of opposition. But secondly, Mr. Speaker, we tell you, as they clearly proved to us, there are people existing in the status quo who value those being old, who value actually olding and being an elderly as an important value. We can clearly see that there will be diversity existing. But furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we tell you that we should prioritize the happiness and give choices when the government has capacity to do that. We tell you that is the role that government should take. But furthermore, Mr. Speaker, as we clearly proved to you in our policy, that mental development and individuals can develop their mentality even if we use this technology. We tell you this can further develop those people's mentality at the end. But furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we tell you feeling their own ability decrease, and also they talked about that those individuals do not feel deprived. However, Mr. Speaker, how can they just simply not be deprived when they feel themselves, when they can clearly feel themselves and their own ability decreasing, being unable to earn money because they lack capacity? We tell you that is the reason why those individuals are feeling deprived, and that is the reason why those people are unhappy in the status quo. But furthermore, Mr. Speaker, they talked about that this is unjustified. However, Mr. Speaker, we tell you that they learned, and also they talked about that this is unjustified because people should be able, that is unjustified. However, Mr. Speaker, we have two responses. Firstly, we tell you they learned enough through an education system that is existing in the status quo. There are mandatory education system existing, and therefore we cannot just simply deny that these individuals' mental capacity and these people's smartness lacks. But secondly, Mr. Speaker, we tell you even if we assume that that those people learn through those kind of progresses, we tell you that the idea here is that those people actually chose to do that. We tell your government should respect their freedom of choice when it was an informed choice, as our Prime Minister clearly proved to you, Mr. Speaker. But furthermore, they never rebutted to our second argument, which is about the effectiveness of this policy, of our policy, but furthermore about the practical benefit, which is very important in today's debate because it proves to you what kind of benefit does it bring to the society. So we invite the next speaker to rebut to this point. So now moving into my third argument, which is about why this gains the trust about the government. So, Mr. Speaker, I have two responses to prove to you. First, about why would this do this? So we tell you when citizens can see that government is allowing them to live with the life period that they prefer the most, they are highly likely to trust the government because as government provided the happiness and provided more happiness to them. But furthermore, Mr. Speaker, because we are providing them those rights, they will feel respected by the society and therefore they trust the government and society.
정부 보수상역의 박세진 학생은 개인의 선택권과 다양성은 충분히 유지할 수 있다고 반박했습니다. 한편 경제적으로 무능력한 사람들이 느끼는 박탈감을 해소할 때 사회적 이익과 정부에 대한 신뢰를 얻을 수 있다고 주장했습니다. 당하고만 있을 소냐, 승기를 뺏어올 반대팀의 두 번째 주자입니다. 야당 부대표 역을 맡은 오한나 토론자는 4분간 정부 측의 논거를 반박하고 자신의 논거를 제시합니다.
되게 처음 봤을 때는 되게 긴장하고 되게 별로 수줍은 성격이어서 별로 친해지기가 쉽지 않은데 알고 나면은 되게 웃기고 토론도 잘하고 공부도 잘하고 그냥 모든 걸 다 잘하는 친구예요.
와, 만능체육꾼 오한나 토론자의 진면 몰입을 차례입니다.
Mr. Speaker, we believe that this motion is unlawful because it gets rid of all learning processes and the ability to learn from others as well. So, before I move on to my substantive speech and our arguments, I would like to rebut to the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister's points. So then, the Prime Minister came up to the podium and talked about how this motion will make people more happy in general. However, you set goals in life, and we think that it doesn't bring true happiness if you have already reached those goals as soon as you're born. We think that they receive greater happiness if they reach their goals and they work towards their goals and they're satisfied when they actually do achieve those things. They said that poor people are unhappy and lack happiness, and therefore this is a problem that the government should be ultimately solving. However, we think that they will be more happy. They will be more happy if they actually establish a milestone and work towards their goal. And if they actually achieve it, then they will be more satisfied. So we think that yes, prime life is a key to achieving your goals. But what we're saying here is that they would be even more satisfied and more happy if they reach their goals, and they should try to attempt to do that before just looking at the answer key and getting the shortcut. So we think that that's more ethical and more beneficial towards everyone in today's motion stakeholders. Now moving on to my argument, I would like to say that you can't learn from others and
and aging if this motion is implemented in our society. So do we really want people to have the equal intellectual capabilities? Right now, in today's status quo, people are taught in different ways, and therefore they have different understanding abilities. Today, therefore, people have the opportunity, and they normally gradually learn from each other. For instance, your parents, they have achieved a lot more in their life than you did, and they were able to learn values such as generosity and benevolence from their aging process. If as soon as you were born, your intellectual capacity is equal to the ones of your parents, you will not be able to look up to them and follow their actions. So you have to notice. So when you look up to a person and respect that person, you're able to endeavor to achieve those values. However, that process is completely ignored under what they're proposing. So you also set goals in life, as I keep repeating. So, and because you set goals in your lifetime, you learn different values. And the thing is, you can't really learn anything in your prime. You can't really learn anything in your prime age. It is when you learn the most while trying to achieve your goals and endeavor to get these goals, and not because you were just born. So we think that you're skipping all the things you can learn from challenges and these aspects in your lifetime. So also to mention about how you learn from simply aging, you learn how to sacrifice yourself for others and how to cope with certain difficulties of comparison and milestones in your life. We think that these values cannot be simply ignored and have the shortcut to a happy life. We think that more happiness and more benefits are bring to every bystander in today's motion, and that is why I proudly oppose.
야당 부대표 역의 오한나 학생은 성장과 배움의 과정을 앗아가는 이 정책이 오히려 사회에 악영향을 가져다 줄 수 있다고 반박했습니다. 또한 결과보다는 노력을 통한 성취가 더 윤리적이고 바람직한 가치라고 주장했습니다. 승패의 방향을 알 수 없는 격전 속에 중요한 임무를 맡은 세 번째 주자. 여당 원내 총무 역을 맡은 권동욱 토론자는 이미 제시된 논거들 사이에 중요한 대립을 식별하고 이에 맞춰 4분간 야당 측 논거를 공격합니다.
처음에는 되게 얌전한 남자인 줄 알았는데 시간이 가면 갈수록 되게 잘 뛰어다니고 목소리도 되게 크고 그래가지고 그런 성격이 있었구나라는 걸 알게 된 것 같아요.
뛰어난 발성으로 장르를 제압할 권동욱 토론자입니다.
Mr. Speaker, we think that where an individual goes through the prime age of 25 to 30, we think that this is a very important portion of each individual's life. And we think that during that portion, we think that these kind of lives of 5 to 6 years itself is a place and itself is a time where one individual gets a lot of influence. And we think that this is the exact reason why where one actually stops in their prime age for their physical capabilities or etc. We think that this is the exact reason why more individuals who have this kind of procedure can get more benefits, especially the poor. So going to my clashes. So my first clash is on the idea of what is true government role. So we talked about how the citizens in us actually citizens of the government actually made a social contract, and we think that it is justified for the government. Why? Because we think that citizens actually gave their own some kind of rights, and they gave some kind of things that in order for the government to protect a larger thing. So therefore, we think that this itself is going to lead to more individuals, and we think that this itself, the government actually has a moral responsibility and the duty to protect citizens and to ensure citizens' maximum happiness. But what they are doing on the opposition side is they're just leaving alone these individuals because they think that some individuals are going to learn benevolency when we leave them alone. We think that this itself is not ensuring the true government role when we think that where we have a viable option, Mr. Speaker, to fulfill the government role in a better way, we think that it is unjustified for us to lean down in our chairs and just look at its viable option when we see individuals and where we see 60 to 70 people who are aged like that, who get depression and who are mentally distressed because of the fact that they don't have the physical capability than their prime ages. And secondly, they also talked about how adults can learn stuff while growing up. Now, number one, we want to question them. Why is this itself beneficial? So we want the next speaker of the opposition team to explain to us why learning all these kind of moral issues itself is going to be beneficial. Number two, we also think that as we stated in our policy, we believe that these individuals are still going to increase their own mental capacities, and we think that because one actually experiences all these kind of opportunities where they grow up, even though they are 25 years old forever, we think that this itself is going to lead to more happiness and to more happiness for individuals. And so far, we take the first clash. Going to my second clash, it's on the idea of who provides more benefits. So we talked about how it's going to lead to more trust, and it's going to also benefit the poor because they actually depend on these kind of physical labor. No engagement whatsoever. And secondly, the opposition also told us that how it's going to be boring for the society because there's no diversity. Number one, we think that where they just come up to the podium and then they just talk about this thing, we think that this itself is a hasty generalization, and we think that this is an assumption. So we want the next speaker of the opposition team to explain to us why this is logically true and why this is actually a true idea. We think that you are going to experience all the experiences, and we think that this itself is going to be beneficial for these individuals, and where these individuals are actually experiencing, we think that they can learn something, and we think that this itself is actually beneficial when they are just talking about how if these individuals get old, it's going to be beneficial. We think that this itself is assumption, and we want the next speaker to explain about this logical fallacy. Number two, we also think that for opposition's case, if some poor people, for instance, or other people do not achieve this goal, we think that this is going to lead to more deprivation for these individuals, and we think that it is going to be more harmful on opposition side for individuals who could not achieve their goal. So for these reasons, we take the two clashes, we take the debate. Thank you.
여당 원내 총무역의 권동욱 학생은 핵심 생산 나이에도 정신적으로는 충분히 성장할 수 있으므로 나이 드는 과정 자체가 유익함과 사회적 이윤을 창출한다는 야당 측의 가정은 옳지 않다고 주장했습니다. 어느새 후반부를 향해 달려가는 치열한 토론. 이번에 반대팀이 내놓을 비장의 카드는? 야당 원내 총무역을 맡은 이현민 토론자는 이미 제시된 논거들 사이에 중요한 대립을 식별하고 이에 맞춰 4분간 정부 측 논거를 공격합니다.
되게 웃기고 다정한데 되게 공부도 잘하고 되게 사람 도와주는 걸 많이 하고 걔는 수로 시작하는 거 잘해요. 수학도 잘하고 걔는 수영도 잘하고 다 잘해요 거의.
수려한 언변을 뽐낼 토론의 귀재, 이현민 토론자입니다.
The process is more important than the result. The reason our prime age is the most critical time in our life is because it's due to the necessary values and goals we learn and achieve through reaching that age, not the literal intellectual capability and happiness we pursue during that time. So, Mr. Speaker, in today's debate, the proposition assumes many improved points. So, firstly, they say that capable people are happier. Secondly, development continues when we are born perfectly. And thirdly, we can maintain other values that we have in the status quo even when we're born perfectly. So the previous speaker asked us to answer one point, so before I move on to clashes, I'll answer that point. So they have asked why learning these values are important when we can be perfect and we can be intellectually perfect. So we would like to tell you that if we don't have any values and our head is only filled with these intellectual things, there's no difference between humans and a robot. What makes us human and what makes us different from them is because we have these values, and that's what really helps us develop and what really changes us and what incentivizes us for more development. So without any further ado, I'll move on to my three main clashes. So my first clash is this motion justifiable in the first place? So the proposition is saying that for more development, for more happiness for the citizens, we can simply get rid of all the learning processes and human relationships that we have in the status quo. So they're saying that however, we believe that there's more to a human than just their intelligence, because the reason our prime age is important because we get to learn about different values like benevolence, generosity, selflessness, and our hardworking abilities. Yes.
Then if these individuals, are you saying that these individuals cannot learn these kind of benevolence during their 1 year to 24 years? Is that what you're talking about?
However, we believe that when someone is born perfectly and they have no one to look up to, they have less incentive, and it doesn't incentivize them as much to become better and for them to pursue more development. So moving on, life is not perfect and it will never be. And we have to be satisfied with what we have, and we should not try to strive for perfection because that was not what humans were born for. So now I'll move on to my second class, which is that how does this actually change our society? So what Proposition is saying in today's debate is that in order to give happiness to all citizens and create development, it's okay to get rid of all of these values and do these things. However, when they say that people are born perfectly and as they desire, we believe that if someone is satisfied with who they are right now and they think that they're perfect, they're faultless, then they will not strive for more. That is the reason why humans are capable of so much development, and we develop at a rapid speed in the status quo. If there's no one they can look up to, because we are all born the same, and we are all born with the perfect intellectual ability, and we stay the same as for our whole life, it means that they have no one to look up to, and we are deterring the development in our status quo, unlike what the Proposition is trying to argue in today's debate. So since our world has so many deficiencies, that's why we work harder, so we can make it better, so we can improve it for our next generations, and so that we can have a better world. And when we get rid of these things, they're they're getting rid of any room for development, and they're making our society perfect so that we cannot improve any furthermore, which is not positive, but it's a negative aspect of the society.
야당 원내 총무역의 이현민 학생은 과정의 가치가 없다면 인간은 로봇과 다를 바가 없으며 모두가 핵심 생산 나이로 태어난다면 타인에 대한 존경심이나 발전을 위한 노력이 없어질 거라고 주장했습니다. 반대팀 주장에 쐐기를 박을 시간, 야당 측 마지막 희망을 소개합니다. 야당 최종 변론자 역을 맡은 이하연 토론자는 답변 발언자로서 3분간 야당 측에 유리한 토론 총평을 하며 연설을 마무리합니다.
하연이는 되게 밝고 되게 말을 많이 해요. 그리고 되게 웃기고 막 친구들한테 되게 잘해주고 배려심이 많은 친구고 토론도 엄청 잘해요.
두뇌의 인성까지 갖춘 끝판왕 이하연 토론자입니다.
Would you want a society or world where all people have same levels of intellectual capability and all of your friends' family relationships are ruined? That is a very immoral and incorrect action to do. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. Without any further ado, I would like to talk about the reasons why our team has clearly won this debate. We believe that throughout this debate, Team Proposition completely misunderstanding the reality and not accepting the value of relationship, therefore giving us a reason why we strongly opt this motion. Before moving on, I would like to explain the three main arguments our team has brought up in order to win this debate. The first reason, people won't work hard. If people are born that way, if the people are born with smart and handsome faces, people do not feel and know about the importance of learning, Mr. Speaker. The second reason, the second argument was diverse society. All individual people have their own special levels of intellectual capability, personality, looks, and more other things that they have as an individual. However, by doing like what the other team is wanting is they want to get rid of this. This is something very immoral and inhumane when people are becoming special because they are themselves, but they're not same with other people. The third argument was that we can't learn from others, or we don't have any goals. Everyone has their own thoughts and beliefs and variety of goals. This is the core reason about why people are motivated to follow and do better than the others. However, we believe that the opponent's teams, the opponent's world, the opponent's society does not have any improvements with this because they don't have anybody to look up. The opponent's world is a place where people will just be satisfied and don't have anybody to look up, making no improvements and no thinking that they have their own personality, they have their own characteristics, they have their own special things that they are different with other people. Mr. Speaker, the world that the opposing team is living in is a very immoral and incorrect society, a world where people do not have their own characteristics, but they're just robots who are all same. We believe that for these reasons, we strongly opt this motion and we take this debate home. Thank you.
야당 최종 변론자 역의 이하연 학생은 정부의 정책이 노력과 배움의 중요성, 사람들의 개성, 다양한 삶의 목표라는 가치들을 무시하고 있으므로 건강하고 윤리적인 사회의 모습을 해칠 것이라고 반대 연설을 마무리했습니다. 더는 물러설 곳이 없다. 결승전의 종지부를 멋지게 장식할 학생을 소개합니다. 정부 최종 변론자 역을 맡은 소인준 토론자 역시 답변 발언자로서 3분간 정부 측에 유리한 토론 총평을 하며 연설을 마무리합니다.
가끔 이렇게 삐지기도 하지만 저희 팀 프랩할 때 중요한 의견 안 나오면 나올 때 도움을 주는 게 되게 많고, 그리고 마지막 저희 팀이 이렇게 좀 힘들고 있을 때 리플라이로서 많이 잘 끝내주는 것 같아요.
위기에 강한 찬성팀의 히어로 소인준 토론자입니다.
So, Madam Speaker, we actually believe that this technology is not an answer key, but rather a brain that actually helps you do better understandings and that makes you better choice to solve the problem. And Mr. Speaker, we will prove you why our team won in today's debate by proving you 2 points. And the first point is the idea about why this is a better choice. So, Madam Speaker, we actually told you that even though the government has the capacity and the technology enough to help these people, we believe that if they do not provide this technology, this means that the government is not fulfilling the role, which is to actually make these citizens and the individuals to be happy. And we also told you about the bodily autonomy, which shows that if one wants to make his or her choice, and since they already provide benefits, as we told you, like for example, we make better productivity and we lessen the rich and poor gap, we actually believe that there is a bodily autonomy and it is justified to actually pass this motion. And secondly, they told us about the diverse society. That society will be boring and there's limited amount of brain development and they will not grow goals. So, Mr. Madam Speaker, as the prime age is the most important place where the brain is most mature, we believe that actually they will have enough capacity for their brains and power and skills enough to go through these problems and get these values. And we also believe that these individuals are not robots that don't dream and that don't have these goals. So, Mr. Madam Speaker, we actually believe that these individuals actually have more dreams and more goals since they have better physical ability and better mental capacity. We believe that they will actually have more goals and more dreams and actually go through that and achieve those. And lastly, what did they do? They did nothing but just leave these poor and miserable poors and these old to just live their miserable life just sitting on their sofas. So, Mr. Madam Speaker, we actually believe that we provide them a better life, as we told you in our benefits of the first and the second argument, and therefore we believe that our team won in today's debate clearly and evidently. Therefore, I'm proud to propose.
정부 최종 변론자 역의 소인준 학생은 첫째, 정부는 시민의 행복을 적극적으로 보장해야 한다는 점. 둘째, 핵심 생산 나이에 태어나더라도 성장과 배움의 가치를 추구할 수 있다는 점을 들며 정부 측의 총평을 마쳤습니다. 한 사람도 빠짐없이 최선을 다해 정말로 멋진 토론을 펼쳤습니다. 반짝반짝 주인을 기다리는 트로피. 과연 이 많은 학생 중에서 누구의 가슴에 안기게 될까요? 하지만 우리 학생들은 결과에 상관없이 이 순간이 많이 즐거운가 봐요.
자, 발표하겠습니다. EFL 탑 스피커 5위 팀 베니비리 비치의 송시형.
친구의 수상에도 힘껏 축하의 박수를 보내네요. 이것 보세요. 자기 일처럼 기뻐하죠? 이틀간 같은 목표를 향해 함께 달려온 학생들. 이제는 경쟁자가 아닌 동료로 거듭난 것 같은데요. 제너럴 리그에서는 팀 벨라토리어스와 팀 플래티넘이, EFL 리그에서는 팀 엑셀시어가 4승 무패로 우승을 차지했습니다. 그간의 고생은 벌써 잊고 감출 수 없는 기쁨만이 남았습니다. 동고동락한 친구들과 함께 받은 상이라 더 뜻깊을 텐데요. 다들 소감이 어때요?
둘 다 오랜 시간 생각하면서 있어야 되고 또 말싸움이잖아요. 그러니까 머리도 많이 써야 돼서 지금 되게 배고파요.
이게 저희 첫 대회 출전이고 준비 시작한 지도 얼마 안 돼서 진짜 본선 통과한 것만으로도 너무 기뻤는데 우승까지 하게 돼서 정말 생각지도 못한 그런 결과인 것 같아요.
우승할 줄 몰랐는데 갑작스럽게 우승해가지고 깜짝 놀랐고 근데 기뻤습니다.
1등 되게 놀랐어요. 1등 되려고 많이 노력했었는데 그게 좋은 결과로 보여주니까 되게 뿌듯하고 좋은 것 같아요.
당찬 포부를 품고 땀의 힘을 믿는 영어 토론의 신예들. 세계라는 무대에서 이들을 볼 날이 머지않아 보입니다.